सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ओम निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। पारायणम् अथ षड्विंशोऽध्यायः। We are chanting Bhagavata Mahapuranam starting from the 11th skandha. Today we have to chant chapter 26. So bring your minds onto the book, eyes also, and with wholehearted devotion as well as vocally also, try as best as possible with full attentiveness, devotion, do the chanting, which itself is a great yajna. श्रीभगवानुवाच मल्लक्षणमिमं कायं लब्ध्वा मद्धर्म आस्थितः आनन्दं परमात्मानम् आत्मस्थं समुपैति मां गुणमय्या जीवयोन्या विमुक्तो ज्ञाननिष्ठया गुणेषु मायामात्रेषु दृश्यमानेष्वस्तुतः वर्तमानोऽपि न पुमान् युज्यते वस्तुभिर्गुणैः संगं न कुर्याद सताम शिष्णोदरतृपां क्वचिदो तस्यानुगस्तमस्यन्धे पतत्यन्धानुगान्धवतो ऐलः सम्राणि मां गाथाम् अगायत बृहच्छ्रवाः ऊर्वशी विरहान् मुह्यन् निर्विण्णः शोकसंयमे त्यक्त्वात्मानं व्रजन्तीं तां नग्न उन्मत्तवन्नृपः विलपन् अन्वगात् जाये घोरे तिष्ठेति विक्लवः कामान् अतृप्तोऽनुजुषन् क्षुल्लकान् वर्षयामिनीः न वेदयान्तिर्नायान्तीः ऊर्वश्याकृष्टचेतनः ऐल उवाच अहो मे मोहविस्तारः कामकश्मलचेतसः देव्या गृहीतकण्ठस्य न आयुः खण्डा इमे स्मृताः नाहं वेदाभिनिर्मुक्तः सूर्यो वाभ्युदितो मुया मुषितो वर्षपूगानां बताः निगतान्युत अहो मे आत्मसम्मोहः येनात्मा योषितां कृतः क्रीडामृगश्चक्रवर्ती नरदेवशिखामणिः सपरिच्छदमात्मानं हित्वा तृणमिवेश्वरं यान्तीं स्त्रियं चान्वगमं नग्न उन्मत्तवदरुदन् कुतस्तस्यानुभावः स्यात् तेज ईशत्वमेव वा योऽन्वगच्छं स्त्रियं यान्तीं खरवत् पादताडितः किं विद्यया किं तपसा किं त्यागेन श्रुतेन वा किं विविक्तेन मौनेन स्त्रीभिर्यस्य मनोहृतं स्वार्थस्या कोविदं धिङ्मां मूर्खं पण्डितमानिनं योऽहमीश्वरतां प्राप्य स्त्रीभिर्गोखरवत् जितः सेवतो वर्षपूगान्मे ऊर्वश्या अधरासवं न तृप्यति आत्मभूः कामः वह्निराहुतिभिर्यथा पुंश्चल्यापहृतं चित्तं कोऽन्वन्यो मोचितुं प्रभुः आत्मा रामेश्वरम् ऋते भगवन्तम् अधोक्षजं बोधितस्यापि देव्या मे सूक्तवाक्येन दुर्मतेः मनोगतो महामोहः नापयति अजितात्मनः किमेतया नोपकृतं रज्ज्वा वा सर्पचेतसः रज्जुः स्वरूपा विदुषः योऽहं यद् अजितेन्द्रियः क्वायं मलीमसः कायः दौर्गन्ध्याद्यात्मको अशुचिः क्वगुणाः सौमनस्याद्याः यध्यासो अविद्यया कृतः पित्रोः किं स्वनुभार्यायाः स्वामिनोऽग्नेः स्वगृध्रयोः किमात्मनः किं सुहृदाम इति यो नावसीयते तस्मिन् कळेबरे अमेध्ये तुच्छनिष्ठे विसज्जते अहो सुभद्रं सुनसं सुस्मितं च मुखं स्त्रियाः त्वं मां सरुधिरस्नायो मेधो मज्जास्ति संहतौ विण्मोत्रपूयेरमतां कृमीणां कियदन्तरम् अथा विनोपसज्जेत स्त्रीषु स्त्रैणेषु चार्थवितो विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यति नान्यथा अदृष्टाद् अश्रुतात् भावात् न भाव उपजायते असंप्रयुञ्जतः प्राणान् शाम्यति स्थिमितं मनः तस्मात् संगो न कर्तव्यः स्त्रीषु स्त्रैणेषु चेन्द्रियैः विदुषां चाप्यविस्रब्धः षड्वर्गः किमु मादृशाम् श्रीभगवानुवाच एवं प्रगायन नृपदेवदेवः स ऊर्वशीलोकमथो विहाय आत्मानमात्मन्यवगम्य मां वै उपारमज्ञानविधूतमोहः ततो दुःसङ्गमुत्सृज्य सत्सु सज्जेत बुद्धिमान् सन्त एतस्य छिन्दन्ति मनोव्यासङ्गमुक्तिभिः सन्तोऽनपेक्षामच्चित्ताः प्रशान्ताः समदर्शिनः निर्ममा निरहङ्काराः निर्द्वन्द्वा निष्परिग्रहाः तेषु नित्यं महाभागेषु मत्कथाः सम्भवन्ति हितान् नॄणां जुषदां प्रपुनन्त्यघं ताये शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति ह्यनुमोदन्ति चाद्रुताः मत्पराः श्रद्दधानाश्च भक्तिं विन्दन्ति ते मयि भक्तिं लब्धवतः साधोः किमन्यदवशिष्यते मयि अनन्तगुणे ब्रह्मणि आनन्दानुभवात्मनि यथोपश्रयमाणस्य भगवन्तं विभावसुं शीतं भयं तमोऽप्येति साधून् संसेवतस्तथा निमज्जोन्मज्जतां घोरे भवाब्धौ परमायनं सन्तो ब्रह्मविदः शान्ताः नौर्दृढे वाप्सुमज्जताम् अन्नं हि प्राणिनां प्राणः आर्तानां शरणं त्वहं धर्मो वित्तं नृणां प्रेत्य सन्तोर्वाग्बिभ्यतोरणम् सन्तो दिशन्ति चक्षुंषि बहिरर्कः समुत्थितः देवता बान्धवाः सन्तः सन्त आत्माहमेव च वैतसेनस्ततोऽप्येवम् उर्वश्यालोकनिस्पृहः मुक्तसङ्गो महिमेताम् आत्मा रामश्चचारः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे षड्विंशोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, श्रीभागवत शरणं मम, श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम, श्रीसूत शरणं मम, श्रीसुखदेव शरणं मम, श्रीव्यास शरणं मम, श्रीनारद शरणं मम, श्रीकुमार शरणं मम, Shri Brahma Sharanam Mama, Shri Vishnu Sharanam Mama, Shri Parabrahma Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupātamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Sunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sanga Padakramo Vanishadaihi गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. ॐ श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणतिलकं यद्वैष्णवानां धनं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यमेव ममलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते यत्र ज्ञानविरागभक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यमाविष्कृतं तत् शृण्वन् प्रपठन् विचारणवरः भक्त्या विमुच्येन्नरः. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः. अथ अष्टाविंशोऽध्यायः. श्री उद्धव उवाच. श्रीभगवानुवाच. Friends, let us salute all the avatars of Bhagavata Purana, Gurus, Acharyas, the great Bhaktas, Sadhakas, Rishis and Munis. And also, let us salute all the Brahma Vidya Acharyas, our Kula Rishis, Gotra Rishis. And also salute our own Gurus who in every of our lives are teaching us and pushing us little by little in our Adhyatmika Sadhana. Remember, we are in the Adhyatmika Jivana Vidhanam. A little of this Adhyatmika Jivana we are coming to understand. It is listening to the Shastras from the Guru. In that Shastra, both what for and how we have to live the outer life and what for how we have to live the inner life, both are set. The outer life is lived of Varnashrama Dharma for our clearing the outer runa, for clearing our outer obligations, etc. At the same time, seeing the result of all of that in our own antakaranas, shuddhi of ekagrata, shuddhata, as well as ragadveshadi rahityam. Then the Shastras again are telling about what is the inner life, what for it is to be. It is again with this Shuddha Antakarana, pursue the Paramatma in Saguna Rupa or Nirguna Rupa, through Bhakti or Jnanam. Till in Bhakti we totally surrender to Him, He is the Ashraya and we shall do Sharanagati to Him. Or in the Jnana Marga, Paramatma is apprehended as the truth beyond all Rupanama, and also Paramatma is again behind the Panchakoshas in me, and this Paramatma is one without second, and I am that. This is what we are trying to study. Now, nowadays in all our Shastra Sadhyanam, in all the texts, the same ultimate sublime theme, the essence of all the Veda Vedanta, essence of all the Upanishads, essence of what Jnanam each of us have to gain, practice and realize, that is what we are taught in all our classes. We have to consider this as our bhagyam or the fortune. Along with that, as best as possible, if we can apply ourselves to grasp all of that, we have done the best to ourselves. At the same time, whatever the extent we have heard, understood, etc., or not, please still again remember to note these are the topics which give the essence of spiritual sadhana. Therefore, if we have not understood it, continue the study. But again, after a year or so, come back to the same topics and study and become more thorough and clear, both in the understanding, in the conviction, in the initiative sadhana, till the siddhi comes. There is no greater knowledge that we have to gain than this. Of both the Shruti, Smruti, Purana, Itihasa, all of them we are studying. So in the morning, there is no greater sadhana than pranava upasana. We saw in the 8th anuvakam. Thereafter, we have to balance both our outer vyavahara as well as our swadhyaya pravachana. Now, in the very next Anuvaka 10, tomorrow, we are going to see in one shloka or mantra on Anuvaka of just 3 or 4 lines, entire Brahma Vidya, the Shruti Mata is going to tell us as the experience of that great Rishi. His name is also Trishanku, not the Vishwamitra fame Trishanku, but the real, there is another great sadhu santa, saint Atmagnani, Brahmagnani, Mahapurusha, his name also Trishanku. That topic itself is the highest and sublime. Aham vrukshasareriva kirte prashtangireriva ordhvavetro vajaneva samrtamasmi dravinagam savarjasam sumedha amruthokshidah iti trishankorvedanvachanam. Enough, but all Brahma Vidya. We are studying it in tomorrow's class. It may take 2 days through our Adi Shankara Bhagavan's Bhashya. So be mindful of what Bhagavan is giving and how fortunate we are to get this chance to listen. And listen, again and again listen. It's available for you on the YouTube and get into the crux or the details or the essence or the, the summary gist of that. Same way, when we are doing Vidurniti, okay, they are all values, but in the Vishnu Sahasranama, people are seeing nowadays in Telugu, what a powerful thing is being taught to us in the earlier sloka number 94 also, again in the 95th also. चतुर्मूर्तिश्चतुर्बाहुः चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्गतिः चतुरात्मा चतुर्भावः चतुर्वेदविदेकपात् समावर्तो निवृत्तात्मा दुर्जयो दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लभो दुर्गमो दुर्गो दुरावासो दुरारिः. These two mantras, even the before mantra also, Sumedha Meda Jodhanyah Satyamedha Daradaraha Tejo Vrushodidarah Sarvashastrabratamvarah Pragraho Nigraho Vyagro Naika Shrungo Kadagrajaha. These 3 mantras, again for Telugu listening people, the sublime truth is being given, truth they are grasping. And adding the beauty to the day's satsang is the Telugu study of Drusha Viveka, which every shloka, every word we are trying to understand. Today we have seen the Drushya Anuvidya Bahya Savikalpa Samadhi Jnana Sadhana. Today was a top day for the Telugu listening people, where how to do while being in the outer world, the Dhyana Sadhana that was taught. Tomorrow, again, another 2 more dhyana sadhanas are taught, will be taught. Then after that, the summary of that, if you do the sadhana, where do you reach? How do you experience? That's what we are seeing. So this is how, when we are relentlessly in the classes with the mindfulness, keeping the unwanted things away, with the faith in the Shastra, Guru and Bhagavan, and our own Adhyatma Sadhana and Pragati and Prayatnam, we will get a clear picture how Bhagavan in his infinite grace guiding us. Now, what to talk about the greatest subject we are taught through the Rama Hridayam. Yesterday we have seen, last 3 days we are seeing our Mata Sita is teaching Hanumanji about the Rama Bhagavan's Parabrahma Tattva. And yesterday she concluded, today we will conclude with that shloka, Ramo nagacchati na tishtati ityadi. After that, in the next 10-12 shloka, what Bhagavan Rama is going to teach is exactly what we have studied in our earlier 3-4 classes about the 3 personalities, the Parabrahma Tattva, the Atma Tattva, the Jiva Tattva. All of them Bhagavan is going to explain today with examples in our Adhyatma Ramayana, Balakanda Prathama Sarga, called as Sri Rama Hridayam. Now, through all of that, try to catch the sense of how Bhagavan is guiding. Now, along with all those beautiful 5 classes, our 6th class is this one, which we are going to see. We are seeing from last 2 weeks, where Bhagavan is teaching as his last Upadesha, Lord Krishna, before leaving this horizon, after accomplishing all his Leelas. Yeah, the best and the ultimate of the knowledge he is giving to us through Uddhavji. He himself took the initiative, and in these 8 9 slokas, he taught to us the Param Tattva, Brahma Tattva, Parabrahma Tattva. To our fortune, the audience there is Uddhavaji. He understands all the Jiva's doubts, questions, like Arjuna also in the Gita. So, pertaining to all the sadhakas, the main question that comes up, who exactly is the samsari, who is the jiva? Paramatma has no bandhanam, the upadhis have no bandhanam. Then who is going through his bandha, sukha dukkha, or samsara, janma varana? The most important question in the entire Vedanta, Uddhavji asks, and to that, the complete answer, very sublime, deep, detailed answer, Bhagavan gives in 10 to 12 slokas. That's why I said 5 days back, these 20 days of ours are the best days in our, at least in my life, Meriliyato, where in all the classes we are listening about the Paramatma Tattva. So, with open hands, as much as we are able to grasp it, take it into the heart, keeping away all the distractions which disturb our this endeavor, we have done the best help to ourselves. Okay. Now let us see the slokas what Bhagavan is teaching. They are simple, the meaning is simple. Some of them are little to be contemplated, pondered over. What is required is repeatedly we have to do a manana till the information becomes knowledge, knowledge becomes conviction. Conviction should inspire us to live life accordingly or do the sadhana that is mentioned here of dhyana ityadi. Until the theme which is said here is experienced in us, the Paramatma Tattva as ourselves, so we have to go on doing that dhyana. Dhyana not possible, contemplation. Contemplation not possible, swadhyayam. Swadhyayam not possible, nirantara shravanam. In this way, day by day, we have to mold our personality to be more pakka adhyatmika sadhaka with all the clarity of what to reach and what to do. This is what we are here as human beings. Only human beings can do that, and whoever is doing that, he alone is worthy colleague of human being to going to become divine. All others are in the human deha, but the best thing they are not doing what to call them. Let them decide. Let us see this 28th chapter. Again, Uddhavaji's Prashna and 2 3 slokas we have seen. The saramsa of that we see and go further in the trying to understand the subsequent slokas. Clear? Om Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha Srimad Bhagatam Puranam Ekadasha Skandaha Atha Ashtavimshodhyayah. Bhagavan tells me inside to chant all the shlokas of this adhyaya which are studied right from beginning. So we are doing Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Parasvabhava Karmani na prashamset na garhayet Vishwamekatmakam Pashyan Prakrutya Purushena Cha Parasvabhava Karmani Yah Prashamsati Nindate Sa Ashubhrashyate Swarthat असत्याभिनिवेशतः तैजसे निद्रयापन्ने पिण्डस्थो नष्टचेतनः मायां प्राप्नोति मृत्युं वा तद्वत् नानार्थदृक्पुमान् किं भद्रं किमभद्रं वा द्वैतस्यावस्तुनः कियतो वाचोदितं तद् अनृतं मनसाध्यातमेव च छाया प्रत्याह्वया भासाः ह्यसन्तोऽप्यर्थकारिणः एवं देहादयो भावाः यच्छन्ति आमृत्युतो भयम् आत्मैव तद् इदं विश्वं सृज्यते सृजति प्रभुः त्रायते त्राति विश्वात्मा हर्यते हरतीश्वरः तस्मान्न हि आत्मनोऽन्यस्मात् अन्यो भावो निरूपितः निरूपितेयं त्रिविधा निर्मूला भातिरात्मनि इदं गुणमयं विद्धि माया त्रिविधं मायया कृतम् एतद् विद्वान् मदुदितं ज्ञानविज्ञाननैपुणं न निन्दति न च स्तौति लोके चरति सूर्यवतो प्रत्यक्षेण अनुमानेन निगमेनात्मसंविदा आद्यन्तवत् असत् ज्ञात्वा निस्सङ्गो विचरेदिह उद्धव उवाच नैवात्मनो न देहस्य संसृतिर्द्रष्टृदृश्ययोः अनात्मस्वदृशोरीश कस्य स्यादुपलभ्यते आत्मा व्ययो गुणः शुद्धः स्वयं ज्योतिरनावृतः अग्निवत् दारुवत् अचितो देहः कस्येह संसृतिः श्रीभगवानुवाच यावद्देहेन्द्रिय प्राणैः आत्मनः सन्निकर्षणं संसारः फलवान् तावत् अपार्थोऽप्यविवेकिनः Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is what we have seen. Now, first thing is, don't do the prashamsa or grahana of both swabhava as well as karma of para. This we explained in two ways. One is, anybody in the world don't do the prashamsa and grahana of whatever their swabhava and karma are there. Second thing what we said is what? Anybody who is related to you in your own life and giving both sukha as well as dukkha, don't do the prashamsa as well as the garhanam of their swabhava as well as karma. Okay, now today we'll add the third one. Not only of the human beings. Here the para means anything other than the Atma. When you take para means anything other than of the Atma, of anything and everything here, the Swabhava and Karma, we should not do the Prashamsa, even if it is so great, appearing in Vyavahara, and will not do Garhana, even if it is doing the worst of the thing from the standards of the worldly happenings. Because for us in life, we have to transcend everything, see the Paramatma. And any ninda or prashamsa done of anything makes that thing real. Consequently, the reality gets hidden from our perception and understanding. And this is for whom? For those who have studied the 11 skandhas of Bhagavatam and have come up to 27th chapter, now those who want other than Paramatma, nothing else, and that conviction and deep meditation, having done that, those who want to see the supreme reality, for those high level sadhakas, jignasus, mumukshus, tivra vancha icha, the one who have got to know the truth like Uddhavaji there, to them this is sadhana. For others, they have to observe the world, they have to understand the world, they discuss about the world, what's happening, what is good or bad, they have to be careful about it, they have to protect themselves, they have to protect the world. ये सारा बाकी को करना ही रहेगा पड़ेगा so that the world continues its show. But for these ultimate mumukshus, jignasus, those who just want Paramatma, for them the prashamsa and garhana of anything other than Paramatma is varjita, is abstained from, is rejected, not to do, because that is what gives a reality to that thing, after which real reality is hidden. And our mind starts going on projecting about ifs and buts about those happenings, those things. Clear? So about Manushas we talked. Now the other 3-4 things are there. In case of all of them also, we should not talk about the Ninda and Prashamsa because of their Swabhava as well as Karma. First let us take about the other living beings other than us. Okay, which are they? The Pashu Pakshi and the Pashus and Pakshis mainly. So in this prapancha, there are Pashus which are very sadhu swabhava, like that of the cows, etc. So much of the milk they give, so much of the every aspect of the cow is so auspicious. Everything in Shastra about the cow is being praised. Cow is said to be having Paramatma in all its parts. Yet we cannot do the prashamsa of the cow because if you do more of it, cow becomes real, the reality is forgotten. For the ultimate seeker, those who want Paramatma, after seeing Paramatma, what is cow? In every animal you will find Paramatma only. Anyway, that is always there. But at the sadhana kala, we are told, heart in heart. Outside, you have to say Gomata, Gita, Ganga, Gayatri, Gomata, Guru, then Govinda. All these 6 Gas are so auspicious. Among them, Ga for Go, Gai is the most divine one. Therefore, we must do worship. आपको मैग दिया जाए तो गाय के ऊपर 3 घंटे बोलना चाहिए outside. But inside the heart, you must know, my goal is to see Paramatma. Paramatma is hiding for me by being in the form of cow. So when I reject the cow, I will see Paramatma in the same cow. For that, I should not do prashamsa of the cow inside. Finally, every prashamsa belongs to God only. This Enam Punya Shloka, all these mantras or namas of Bhagavan, 100 of times we have heard. Okay? So, na prashamsa. Just be neutral, be an observant. No, don't provoke the mind intellect to label them through any of their thinking. The moment this initiative is taken of trying to do the prashamsa or the ninda, the mind gets into disturbance, agitation. In the disturbed mind, what is projected is a world. Only in the calm and quiet mind, we transcend the mind to see the self or truth or reality as it is. Is it clear? Never ever have that doubt in this regard. Okay. Now, in this very same world, along with these extreme animals like cow, that of them which are so much sadhu, the other side is there, the lions and tigers, which kill so cruelly the same sadhu animal called as cow. Yesterday, you see that Andhra, how many cows and calves were killed by the tiger as well as the lion. आजकल आंध्रा में 4-5 जगह पे lions and tigers are moving. एक जगह तो 2.25 महीने 1.5 महीना हो गया. Even more than that, they brought every instrument, they are not able to catch. It was killing one or the other 2 animals. Nowadays starts killing human being. It has become man-eater. 4 people were killed in 3 days. Clear? Let the forest range wala do, anybody do. We cannot call the karma of the tiger, swabha of the tiger, to be cruel and say the ninda. Because our goal is Paramatma. Think about it. And when you are a forest officer, you do what is required to be done. You are a patrakar, you go and do the interview of the tiger and give it in the paper if you have the guts. All the duty alag, but we are not now any one of them. After studying Bhagavatam coming up to the 20th chapter, other than knowing Paramatma, what else can be our goal? For these people, these are the things. Clear? About the Pashu. Now, in between, any number of range of animals come. The aquatics, they may be the whales, the seals, which eat the small fishes. The snakes eat their own children. Isn't it? That is very granatmaka karma. सांप अपने ही बच्चों को खाता है. In between all the lion, tiger, all jackals are there. They are said to be very nutcutter, cunning. So to the crows, those very useless fellow, they put their anda in that ghosla of the koel, and then the koel hatches it, then it becomes a crow. It is a very lazy fellow. So all this is swabhava and karma of the animal. We should not do prashamsa or ninda. Or in some of the cases, we see the birds, whether it's a woodpecker or some things in their season, they make such a wonderful ghosla. क्या बढ़िया बनाया तुमने ये पंछी वाले. This is called prashamsa. We will not do. We just observe. Why do we observe? We close eyes and try to see the Paramatma inside. Understood? In the same way, all small little krimi kitaka insects, they are there. They have their own swabhava, the bacteria, the fungi, the virus. There are 2 kinds of them. The healthy positive bacteria also is there, which makes the milk into the curds. In our own inner system of digestion, there are hundreds and thousands of bacteria are there, because of which only many of the internal functions are happening. All the scientists know it. So there are good bacteria. सारे bacteria को मार दो तो आदमी मर जाता है. And everything which we half eat and throw in the earth, the bacteria only are consuming them. Therefore, we see everything neat and clean. So to the negative ones are there, which harm the organs, and we become victimized. So we need not do the ninda and prashamsa of them. I'm just telling, एक चीज यहाँ para मतलब सब ले लो आप. क्योंकि किसी भी चीज को निंदा प्रशंसा कर दी, then they gather their impressions in our heart. both in their name and form as well as in their nature, followed by which our mind starts thinking about their goodness or badness. Slowly a liking or disliking happens. See, if you have three dogs at home, among that one dog, if you say that you both disciplined, you get attached to that. And this compared to that, the other fellow is less disciplined. Therefore, you feel little away from it. Samsara ho gaya, raga dvesh ho gaya. I'm giving an example. Even the children also. One child is good discipline, other is not so. So then you get attached to this fellow, you become cranky, angry with. In both cases, you become samsari. Now, to whom all these are addressed? The one who want to rise above all Rupanama Jagat, Sri Paramatma. Ho gaya. Then come to the trees. Trees also one of the living things like us. And a human being, Manushya, Pashu, Pakshi, Vanaspati. Now, each tree has its own Swabhava and Karma. Again, there are healthy trees are there, very spiritually acclaimed or glorified trees are there, like Tulasi and Ashwatha and all of them. There are trees like Bhang, etc. There are cactus are there are Kante wale hai, there are Touch Me Not also are there. Is it not? Tree flora means all of them. In that, the vegetable trees are there, the fruit trees are there, the flowers trees are there, the fruit flower vegetable नहीं देने वाले पेड़ है, उसमें कुछ अच्छे भी मिले हैं, बुरे भी हैं. From the Vyavahara standpoint, is it not? Our job is not to do the prashamsa or ninda. देखो, the crotons. वो कोई smell नहीं होता उसमें, but then the color of those trees of plant gives such a beauty to the eyes. There are some other green trees, only one homogeneous color, but they are the ones give us oxygen more. These are all Vyavahara Drushti. In our mind, there is no tree greater like the Tulasi or Ashwatha or anyone. There's no, in Vilva Ityadi, there's no bad tree like all those. Because we are sadhaka spiritual. In the interview, if you are asked, then we tell. These are the trees which are poisonous, which are dangerous, so we have to protect ourselves from that. See, remember that 28 years back, what happened? That trees called Partheniums were thrown in the through helicopter into our country from one of these useless nations. I don't name it. Everywhere that was growing, eating away all the sapidity of the earth, because of which no other plants were growing. But in our nation, all Jnani, Bhaktas, Upasakas, Pujaris, on the name of Ganapati, Mother, again and again they worship for year, all the year together. Therefore, because of Bhagavad Kripa, even though these negativities are done by others, they are anyway eliminated. I'm just telling the example and completing it that way. So in this way, there are trees. Okay? No need to do the ninda or stuti. It is like that, that's it. Protect your mind. How the mind enters, how the world enters to the mind, how the mind goes into the world. Only two ways. Mind enters into the world enters into the mind by when you call it as good or bad. And the mind enters into the world by having raga dvesha. Outer world entering the mind, inner mind going into the world. Both are the cause of hiding Paramatma from our experience. So these two also are interrelated. If I have raga dvesha inside, then I label something as good or bad. If I label something good or bad, then it creates raga dvesha in me. In both cases, those things appear as real. When they are real, they'll conceal the self. We have to discover the self. That is our goal. See how important is this sadhana for spiritual seekers, what Bhagavan is saying. Is it not like when it happened, when Gurudev in his Tapon Maharaj's ashram was there in those days? One day Gurudev was, he had something, that for one thing for some time in his life, some bad habit, smoking, whatever. Some other sannyasi is so jealous of him because Tapon Maharaj to love him so much for his sincerity, genuineness, everything's humbleness, seva, bhava, commitment of Gurudev so much. Then they one day went to Tapon Maharaj. Then he complained to him. Ki you are Chinmaya, whom you love so much, he is doing this, that. Gurudev knew that they are jealous of me, they are going to complain. Then it seems Gurudev packed his bag and he was ready to go because when Tapon Maharaj knows this, he will scold me. Definitely will throw me out of ashram. Anyway, before leaving, Gurudev thought, let me listen their interaction, what they speak to each other. Then these sannyasis when went and told Tapovan Maharaj, कि ये है चिन्मया. You know what Tapovan Maharaj told them? दूसरों का गलतियां ढूंढना सन्यासी का लक्षण नहीं, तू चले जाओ यहाँ से. In his tuta puta Malayali Hindi, he scolded those people. He did not say anything to Gurudev. It has a different consequence, different role. But the thing is, he told those people, दूसरों का गलतियां ढूंढना सन्यासी का लक्षण है, तू चले जाओ. He treated them, he taught them the lesson. He did not say even one word to Gurudev. Gurudev really had tears in his eyes. How great my Guru is. Slowly, slowly he came out of whatever it is. Now, Tapovan Maharaj's vision is different, For one small little thing, if you send this great would-be saint of the entire nation, it will be very wrong on my part. He knows in time of maturity, everybody comes out of their small little issues, negativities. And the thing is, in him, the giant of the saint to revive Sanatana Dharma is there. I have to kindle that lamp. I have to protect that lamp. Therefore, he taught all this to Tapovan Maharaj, to Gurudev. That was his story that way. But our context is what? दूसरों का स्वभाव का कर्म का ना प्रशंसा करे ना निंदा करे, including the trees. Clear? Now the last one is what? The nature. मनुष्यों का हमने देखा. In general, the manushas are involved in our life, who are doing good also, bad to us also. Both of that. Then we have seen pashus, we have seen the pakshi, we have seen the vanaspati, we have seen small little insects also. Then we have seen now, finally we are seeing the nature. There's a beautiful thing there in the nature if you go and see. The snow-clad mountains of the Himalayas, how wondrous they are. The vast oceans there, the beautiful lakes they are there in the world, and the great, great forests and jungles with such a greenery, such a beautiful thing. It is mesmerizing only. थोड़ा आपको उस तरह का दिमाग दिल है तो नेचर में जाकर नेचर के साथ एक हो जाओ, सारा ध्यान व्यान अपने आप एक हो जाता है. See the wonders of this world created by Bhagavan. So many. In the nature, the type of flowers, the colors they are, the type of bird, the beauties they are. The peacock itself is 10 types of peacocks are there. 20 types of peacocks are there. There are 100 types of parrots are there. You देखो एक की क्या सुंदरता है. नेचर की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. Anyway, they come in the birds and animals. At the same time, the nature. The nature of forest, the nature of beautiful oceans or the rivers, the nature of the mountains standing there all. So too, along with nature, and the nature called as sky, nature of beautiful clouds, along with nature, the natural happenings. Whether the natural happenings of human saving things that are there in the world, right from the mines of the gold to coal, is it not the petrols there? And from the the Himalayan heights, what amount of aushadhis that come to us? ये सारे nature हमको दे रहा है positively. Same nature does. Drastic things are not. Nowadays, the nature's prakopa, almost all nations, is so terrible. Nature is not showing its action on the nations. In any place, people are whatever the way they're behaving like that, it is showing its powerful thing. See the earthquakes, the tsunamis, the cyclones, the uncontrolled, the rains, etc., the lightning, the forest fires. क्या क्या हो रहा है आपकी आंखों के सामने. You are busy in watching cinema and serial. You are not knowing. But see what's happening in Pakistan. 70-60% of the nation is in water now. Half of Pakistan, according to the satellite view now, is in water only. आधा ही पाकिस्तान है अभी. You know what is the कीमत of आलू टमाटर प्याज today? 340 rupees टमाटर. प्याज 290 280 is आलू. Do you know that कीमत of everything? Nobody is able to buy in any of the countries of Pakistan the things. India is ready to help them, but they have their own useless feelings. They don't want to take. Our Prime Minister also very intelligently he expressed this feeling, but he never assured there कि we are ready to help. Because क्यों करें? We are ready. तुमको इंसानियत होना है अपने लोगों को बचाने के लिए मांगो. We are ready to give. They only closed that border Atari and stopped all the trading. No, all this is extension of the thought. In the same way, every of the countries, see the Afghanistan, the floods there, Australia में, US में, Canada, France तो पूरा तबाह हो रहा है वहाँ. नेचर का प्रकोप मैं ये बता रहा हूँ, हमारा काम ये है. And 2.5 years we were troubled. Lucky that we half sleep and half we watch TV. Otherwise, with emotional feeling, you may get heart attack only. 2.5 years onwards, see the terrible action of the coronavirus. One after the other, its mutations, how it threatened, frightened, troubled, and actually killed so much of Janta, human beings. Natural calamities, I am talking. So many going on, but you and I as sadhaka, I only listed to out you 1 or 2 or 3%. What's happening in the world? And the Russia-Ukraine war, Iran-Iraq war, then Israel-Philistine war, everywhere it's going on. In Hinduism, too, variety of groups divide each other. In Christianity, they have 35 groups. In Islam, they have 20 groups. वो लोग मारते रहते हैं एक दूसरे को. Even the Buddha, they are Hinaya, Namaha. And in the China, in Buddha is these two other two, Shunyavadi and all of them. हर जगह पे हो रहा है. The entire world is with the opposite of the things. So nature की बात we are talking. See the floods to happened 2013. And in our country also, this year, last 2 months, such an havoc it created. Point is what? You and I as Adhyatmika Sadhaka who want to discover Paramatma have to refrain ourselves from commenting on any one of these and protect the mind. With the quiet mind for few years, contemplatively, when you discover the self, when the self is seen, everywhere his lila only is going on. This is neither good nor bad, even after that also. Everything is his lila. See, Parasvabhava Karmani, if you extend it, to what extent it tells us. Is it not? Everything is Paramatma. And the best example is our own body. Our own body, there are some organs which do wonderful work. There are some organs do the worst work. The tongue tastes the things for us. Eyes shows up beautiful colors and form. Ears give us such a music melody. क्या है कि नहीं? But there are other things, the intestine, the digestive system, the excretory systems, they throw the things out. But imagine to which of these organs we have hatred? We cannot have because all of them are me. They were as much sacred, the tongue, etc. to me, so much sacred as other thing. सब मिलकर मेरा देह चलता है और सब देह में मैं हूं. इसलिए मुझे किसी के प्रति राग है न मुझे किसी के प्रति द्वेष है. Therefore, any anga is equally precious. Anywhere problem, I run to doctor, get rectified. In the same way, exhaustively for a spiritual seeker, these are the instructions. Parasvabhava karmani na prasamsed na garhaya. I have asked, be a neutral witness. That's it. Beautiful. You can see then how the mind will enter to the world, how the world will enter into mind. That's how. Think further. There are so many other examples. How they can be infinitely given. Is it not? And today's bhashana of Prime Minister, while inaugurating or sending into the waters the INS Vikranto, what a powerful delivery to us. So much of patriotism, devotion, praising the army, air force, navy, and telling about the strength of India and the shloka which he has quoted. So beautiful. About the dana and bala. For a murkha, they are the cause of frightening to others. For a wise person, they are the cause of serving all. Our nation is ready to serve. These are all great things happening. You have to know all that. Jo badhiya hai. But we as a sadhakas, we only observe. We did not do the prashamsa of him and the neighbor fellow. We are ready to help him. Again, he blames Pakistan, India mein Muslims tang ho rahe. Kya ho rahe? They are more happy than Pakistan. But we need not. He is bad, he is good. Maybe in Vyavahara. For us, the tamasha is through both of them, the Ishvara is working. And in his Leela, this becomes that, thus becomes this. The Mati kahe Kumar se, tu kya ronde moy, ek din aisa aega, main rondu turoi. Anything can change in this one. That's a very different topic, different track. But the main track is it understood now? Anybody other than Paramatma, by calling it as good or bad, not only you are giving reality to it, you are also forgetting Paramatma. Okay? This is what is the first two shlokas spoke about. Oh, then he gave the example of in the dream how the because of non-thinking you are in a while when you are entering into the sleep. Before that, in the dream you are suffering in the non-existing dream world. Thereafter you enter into the nidra as if you are lost to yourself. Therefore, these two examples are given to say that when you do the Ninda and Stuti of the world, either you are in the delusory world like that of the dream, or you are equivalent to dead like that of the sleep. Means you are not creative, productive for your spiritual sadhana. That is what he said. Then we saw Bhadram, Abhadram, where is that? Dvaisasya avastunaha. Anything other than the self is avastu, unreal. How can in the unreal something good or bad? And what is the powerful sentence which we saw 2 days? Vacha uditam, manasa dhyatam anrutam. Anything spoken by the mouth and thought of by the mind, all are unreal. And reality cannot be thought by the mind, cannot be spoken by the mouth. Therefore, by the speech of the mouth, thought of the mind, we are projecting the unreal world on the real self. This is what the trick that is happening, which slowly through the study of Shastras, we have to start becoming clear and thorough in the understanding. See, again I am telling you the whole twist of this. What he said, how can something is Bhadra or Abhadra, good or bad, auspicious, inauspicious, in the Dvaita means other than the self objects, when they are Anrutam, what is that Anrutam? And then Rutam, the self is neither spoken by the mouth nor contemplated or thought by the mind. Therefore, what are these two dangerous fellows doing? The speech and the mind, they are projecting the unreal Jagat on Paramatma. When the terrorists or such fellows are attacking the nation again and again, or internally also some criminal, what do? Take them for a task, no? Andar kar dena usko. So the mind and the mouth, they are creating havoc in our life. उसको खाना देना बंद करना, माउथ को खाना देना ये सब बंद करो, पर स्वभाव कर्म का निंदा स्तुति मत करना, मन का भी खाना देना बंद करो, अंदर के राग द्वेषों को प्रमोट नहीं करना. Then what will happen? These two fellows become silent, the speech and the mind. Then you will see that which is beyond the speech, beyond the mana, the Atma, the Paramatma self, who is fully abundantly present everywhere, yet not able to, we are not able to see because of these villains in our life. See how we have to understand these slokas through contemplating in various angles, in various means. This is called as Mananam Chintanam Shastra. Then Bhagavan said the three examples of Chaya, Pratyahvaya, Abhasa. The shadow, the resounder, and the reflection. What was the crux of this shloka? They are giving us experiences of good or bad, even the help they are doing, even though they are not substantial realities. Why these examples are given? Only to bring to our this clear understanding that Dehadi Indarupadis and Namarupatmaka outer Jagat, which are giving us experiences because of which we are taking them as real and not able to reject them by saying they are unreal. For that is the answer that even though there is not a thing, still you can experience. For example, these three. Therefore, the Dehadi Bhava, in reality, even though they are not there, if you value them, they go on threatening, frightening you, giving Sukha Dukkha till the Mrityu, only to restart again when you are born in another body. Therefore, evam Dehadayo Bhavaha yachanti am Mrityuta bhayam. So the question is what? वो चीजें नहीं है तो फिर सुख दुख कैसे दे रहे हैं यार, नहीं है तो भी सुख दुख देते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दीज थिंग्स. Is it not? How clear see Bhagavan's this jnanam and how important is this knowledge for a spiritual seekers to become subtle in understanding what is real and unreal. And who is the culprit? Who is playing the role of villain in our life? Then the two shlokas, Atma eva idam sarvam srujyate srujati. See, the self alone is the creator, created, maintainer, maintained, destroyer and dissolved. How beautiful this shloka. Therefore, other than him, where is what? He himself on himself projecting the world's creation and projecting the dissolution of it. Himself only, because of which other than the Atma, there is no another Bhava nirupito. Therefore, all the Bhava which you are seeing now through the Upadhi In the pure self, they are found to be not existing along with their root called as avidya or maya. Then everything is in what? Idam guna mayam vidhi trividam maya kritam. Idam trividam gunamayam maya kritam vidhi. How? See, I tell you, that's why this chapter, these shlokas, as many times as you can study exclusively, single pointedly, attentively, the sublime spiritual understandings come to us. Then only we are true आध्यात्मिक साधक. अगर समझदारी ही नहीं है कौन सा चीज क्या है, फिर साधना सिद्धि कैसा होगा? Sadhana is to discover the self. Siddhi is to discover the self. Then we saw yesterday, Etad Vidwan Madhuditam Jnana Vijnana Daipunam. The one who knows this knowledge of me given, Nanindachi Natastauti. He will not involve in Nindastuti. Then how is his life? Loke Charati Suryavato. He moves in the world like Bhagavan Surya. What is the meaning of living life like Surya? We have explained yesterday. In his own pristine glory. I give the example also of our Drugdusha Vivek and Bhagavad Gita, like the lamp. Lamp at the very small example, Surya is the big example. In both cases, it is in its own pristine glory. So too, I move in the pristine glory of my own self within and without everywhere. Never ever talking about anything because there is nothing other than me. ये अनुभव आएगा. अनुभव से पहले साधना, साधना से पहले समझदारी आएगा. समझदारी क्या है? ये वाला. When I transcend my manobuddhyadi upadhi by rejecting value given to Rupa Nama, I discover the self which is everywhere there, after which there is no question of any samsara of blaming something, liking something. That knowledge first dawns. And that appears to be the glorious life. Therefore, to reach to that, we do the sadhana. Actual sadhana. In the actual sadhana, you know what to do and what is the state to reach. And while doing so, take the help of the Guru and Shastra. एक दिन पहुंच ही जाते हैं. And the last one is what? These are the four means. Pratyakshena, Anumanena, Agamena, Atma Samvida. What to do? Adyantavad asadnyatva nisango visarediha. Only Paramatma is real. Everything other than Paramatma, which is projected on him, at some time and again dissolves at other time. In between, at the time of its seeming real existence also, it is unreal. Know this way and Nisanga Visaretu. Loke Chariti Suryavatu, Nisango Visaretu. These are the final words of wisdom Bhagavan Krishna has given. With that, his teachings are over. But here comes Uddhavji. He wants to have a clarification. Now it is such a good thing for me. I don't know तुम लोगों को आप लोगों को बोर लगा होगा. स्वामी ने सेम चीज रिपीट किया करके. I tell you, I am delighted for myself that these 8-9 shlokas, 9 of them, have such a subtlety, clarity, utility that by repeating to you, I got a clarity of it. क्यों किसी का ना निंदा करे, स्तुति ना करे. Many places we listen. भाव के दृष्टि से किसी का निंदा मत करो. But यहाँ स्तुति भी नहीं करना. Both. Just be a such person only, according to our morning Drugdushaveka class, that he'll be able to do easily both Drushyanuvidya, Shabdanuvidya, Savikalpa Samadhi. You understood, Telugu people? Because the mind is relatively free, because you're not pulling the world into the mind into the world by the Ninda and Prashamsa. देखो क्या बढ़िया है जिंदगी, है कि नहीं? And to talk in another emotional language, you are in this world to serve the world, with the position and power given. Other than that, क्या हो कहता है हमारा भगवान के द्वारा निर्मित इस जगत के बारे में कुछ बोलने का. When we are in our family life, are stranded, or isolated, or cornered, sometimes by everyone. That the wife also says, Chup raho ji. Daughter-in-law also says, Papa ji, मैंने आपसे पूछा क्या? Son also says, Papa, don't interfere. The grandchild also says, Papa, मैंने बुलाओ मत. When the servant also says, he will not even come to you to talk to you. When you are cornered in that way, please understand, you are the most luckiest person, blessed by the Lord, if only you have little common sense. The common sense is what? Through all these 5 people, Bhagavan is teaching me a lesson that I have no right on anybody to authorize or authority, nor I have any correctness in me to talk about them either they are good or bad. सारे लोग हमारे मुंह बंद कर रहे हैं का अर्थ क्या है कि मुंह बंद करो. It happens sometime. Then instead of coming into that frustration, then स्वामी जी ऐसे मेरा घर का हालत है, समझ लो भगवान कृपा कर रहे हैं, the most lucky fellow, kick all of them in your mind, don't think about all those nonsense rascals, start meditating on Paramatma. You worked like a donkey and buffalo throughout life, earned crores of rupees, and gave those stupid fellows every food and every clothing required. Now वो लोग अपने औकात दिखा रहे हैं, ऐसे ungrateful fellows. Why do you think? Kick them before they kick you. And do your puja to Bhagavan who gave everything. I told you, it is not the essence of the topic. Yeah, sentimentally, emotionally, if you see, same thing can be interpreted like that. व्यवहार के दृष्टि से. And to every sadhaka, true sadhaka, sincere sadhaka, genuine sadhaka, तड़प जो रहा है तुरंत भगवान को पाना है करके, to that Lord, what he does is, he corners that fellow in such a way, he has left nothing other, either he has to commit suicide or he has to become totally vairagi and become sadhaka. Same we chanted today, the Pururava Upakhyanam, Aila Uvacha. He was cornered so much that everybody kicked him. No, he had to go to satsang, learn Paramatma and go to Paramatma and reach. He had to do that. Other option was, अब दी के क्या करे जब दिल ही टूट गया और कुछ उल्लू भर पानी में डूबो. You understand? What a beautiful grace. If that happens in our life, the additional grace is we discover the Vairagya and Mumukshutta and Jignasa through that experience. अब ये वाला इंफॉर्मेशन नॉलेज हमको कौन देगा, कौन पढ़ा रहा है हमको? सब फंसाने वाले चीजें सिखा रहे, ज्ञान से हंसाने वाले कौन सिखा रहे हमको? थ्रू हंसाना, थ्रू द नॉलेज. हो गया. नाउ उद्धव जी प्रश्न, वी नो इट. उद्धव उवाच नैवात्मनो न देहस्य संस्कृतिर्द्रष्टृदृश्ययोः अनात्मस्वदृशोरीश कस्य स्याद् उपलभ्यते. So, in our own simple language, to the Parama Supreme Atma, which is untouched by anything, there is no Janma, Marana, Sukha, Dukkha, Karta, Bhokta, Samsara. Janma, Marana, in the Janma, Marana के बीच में Karta, Bhokta, because Karta, Bhokta, Karma, Phala, uska, Karta, Bhokta, then through the Phala of the Karma, Phala, Karma ka Phala ka Sukha, Dukkha. Janma, Marana. पाप पुण्य सुख दुख. सो जन्म मरण बीच में पाप पुण्य का कर था, उसके फल में सुख दुख का भोग था, दुख सुख का. दीज आर ऑल नॉट देयर इन परमात्मा. ओके, बी क्लियर अबाउट इट. परमात्मा में कोई भी संसार ये वाला नहीं है, कोई वाला नहीं. परमात्मा कहीं आकाश में नहीं. इन योर ओन सेल्फ, द सेल्फ इन यू इज अनटच्ड विथ एनी संसार. क्लियर. सेकंड, the Dehadi Upadis, all the 3 Deha, the Karana Deha of the Vasanamaya Kosha, the Sukshma Deha with all the 17 ingredients, Panchagnanendriya, Panchakarmendriya, Panchaprana, Vanabuddhi, Van Mana, Vanabuddhi. These 17 is called Sukshma Sharira. And the Stula Deha, which is this 200 kg or 2000 kg, whatever you have. The तीनों को भी संसार नहीं है. But we are continuously experiencing samsara. Then to whom is this samsara? See the question. What a great thought it is, great question it is. Then he says, Atma Vyayo Aguna Shuddha Swayam Jyotirana Vrataha Agnivat Darvadachito Deha Kasya Samsrudihi. Uddhav is explaining, don't tell all this detail, I already know. Then the guna of Atma is Avyayaha, non-decaying, Agunaha, beyond 3 gunas, Shuddhaha, pure, immaculate, Swayam Jyoti, doesn't require anything to illuminate it, Anavrutaha, Maya cannot cover it, it is like Agnivatu. What about the bodies? Daruvat Achitu, Dehaha, like a wood, it is a only dead matter, then kasya samsrutihi. Here Agni is compared to the Atma Tattva, then the wood is compared to the Upadhis. अग्नि को कोई छू ही नहीं सकता और लकड़ी को कोई छुया तो पता ही नहीं चलता उसको. Who is having samsara? To this, Bhagavan gave the answer yesterday. One sloka, that one we'll study today. Then one more, most important, which we initiated yesterday, we'll just see 2-3 minutes. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. Now, what Bhagavan says, the next 15 slokas, is the real Ganpati Chaturthi festival for us. In this Janmashtami, Ramnavami, Diwali, Dashara, जो हर साल आ रहे जा रहे without changing us even iota, the result of all festivals we can celebrate through the study of. Means through the study and understanding of this, we can celebrate the joyful life like all the festivals we celebrate. That much thing is there in this. So Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Yavad Dehendriya Pranaihi Atmanah Sannikarshanam Samsarah Phalavan Tavat Avartopya Vivekinaha. This one sloka, if you have digested, you have blessed yourself. This thought we shared yesterday 22 times. Today is 23, 24. Same example I will give you 1,000 times. He himself is the man, he himself is the father. Point 1. Man never suffers, father ever suffers. Point 2. Where is the father? In the man only. How? Because of his proximity in his heart with identity with the son. If this much is understood, rest all is understood. Then how the father should stop his suffering? Outside, as a father, he can do his roles, but inside, he should be manly. That is why every child tries to prove to the father, but stupid fathers never understand, or the mothers, what the child proves every time to every child in the entire universe. You are a father to me till you take care of me. You are not a father to me to chalao your hukuman to me. What they are saying is correct spiritually, but you are not spiritual. You are a sansari, pakka. Therefore, it appears to be not correct. इतना ही कॉमन सेंस से जिंदगी भर का प्रॉब्लम सेकंड में सॉल्व हो जाता. When the child says, Papa, give me that, give me this, I take it, and don't tell me this or that. What it says? That you have a duty to give this and that child thing to the child. You don't have the authority to tell that stupid fellow, do this or that. You do it, you will not listen, you suffer. A wise father never suffers because he knows देना ही मेरा काम है, उस नालायक से मांगना नहीं. अगर उसको अकल है तो बिना मांगे देगा, अगर नहीं दे रहा है तो उसको अकल है. कॉमन सेंस नो, ए मेच्योरिटी में. Once, twice you tell them. If they don't listen, then you keep quiet, that's it. He doesn't deserve. Like any guru tells twice, thrice to the student. Then when he understands that they are not that way devoted as he imagined, he stops telling. We all do like that only, no? हम थोड़ा टेस्ट करके देखते हैं लोग. ऐसा टाइम पास वाला है, ऊपर ऊपर बोलते हैं, अंदर इनका कोई नहीं है प्रति गुरु के. We also, you are entertained and we are entertained. Common sense. And a true disciple is he doesn't even need the guru to tell him. He knows what guru expects. They do it and they report it. गुरु नोस, यार ये संसारिक आया भी साधक है, शिष्य है, भक्त हो गया है, इन इसका कल्याण करना है. गुरु स्टार्ट्स रिकमेंडिंग टू द लॉर्ड विदाउट द क्वालिफिकेशन. द गुरु रिकमेंड दिस डिसाइपल, उसको मुक्ति दो करके भगवान को. भगवान हंसेंगे, पहले उसको टेस्ट कर, बेवकूफ है, तुम्हारी बात नहीं सुन रहा है, मेरा कहाँ सुनेगा. He is an ego, a solid mass of ego with his own likes and dislikes so much that is a tyranny to the world and to you also if you touch him. Silently satsang bolkar chale jana, zyada gustaki mat karna. The Lord gives me signals inside. They are not devotee or surrendered, they just. Therefore we know it. A matured guru never involves. A matured shishya confides everything to the guru. सांस भी गुरु का परमिशन लेकर ही लेगा, वो मरेगा लेकिन सांस नहीं लेगा. दैट इज द अल्टीमेट डिसाइड. But if that is not there, the guru knows कि अभी पका नहीं है ये, अब इसको खेलने दो. What do you do? पका हुआ फल प्लक करके भगवान के सामने रखोगे, नहीं पका तो छोड़ दे तो पकने तक. इन द सेम वे द गुरु लिव, ठीक है जो होगा होगा, मेरी क्या जल्दी है. और जब उसको नहीं पड़ी, भगवान को नहीं पड़ी, मेरे को क्यों. गुरु इज वेरी परम वैरागी. See the example how it is with everyone. To the wife, to the children, everyone, we have only duties, no right. Now you understand why Bhagavan said karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu. All that is to say what? We have only duty, not rights. What it means what? Whenever such an occasion comes, please realize in the life that we have no opinions to form on anyone, comments to make on anyone, authoritatively have something to order to anyone. By doing so, we suffer in the Vyavahara world as a pakka samsari. We doubly suffer in spiritual world by going away from Paramatma. And don't you say, शर्मा जी आज क्लास सुन नहीं पाया मैं, मेरा दिमाग इतना खराब था, क्या हुआ, बेटे से या बहू से हमसे लड़ाई हो गई. सी, न क्लास सुन पाए न मन शांत है. Why? Because I told something they didn't like. Then what to do? Don't tell. They're not ready to listen, or you know what to speak, how to speak. उनको मैच्योरिटी होना है कि अरे पापा है कहेंगे तो एक्सेप्ट करना है. आपको होना है यार ये लोग नहीं सुनेंगे, नहीं कहना. अब दोनों नहीं तो झगड़ते रहोगे जिंदगी भर. देन व्हेन विल यू डू साधना? Impossible. Sadhana is not sitting like with the body for meditation. Sadhana is 24 hours of awareness to protect our mana from all this nonsense. Then on the seat of meditation, drop this mana at the feet of the Lord through devotion or through Tattva Chintana. Be the self. Okay, now what Bhagavan? I gave you example. The explanation of the sloka started with the example of the man and father. Now come to the main point. The main point is what? There are no two selves as Jiva or Paramatma. Clear? Paramatma alone is real. He himself, very close to the Upadhis, becomes Jiva and suffers. Jiva himself, when he goes away from Upadhis, discovers his oneness with oneness. Paramatma Tattva means he discovers himself as Paramatma. So when the father comes away from the son, he is a man. Man never suffers. Again that man goes to a brother, again he becomes a brother and he suffers. From the brother, when he comes to a man, by keeping away the brotherhood, he is free from it. To keep on saying, I am man, I am only for action's sake outside because of duty or vyavahara, either I am husband or father or son, आपको संसार उतना नहीं रहेगा. At least you believe in this fact. देखो हमेशा एक बात याद रखना, दुखी होकर, दुख को जस्टिफाई करके, उसको 10 लोगों को बांट कर फिर उनका सिंपैथी गेन करना, इससे बड़ा मूर्खता नहीं है. The opposite of it is what? We have no right authority to become dukhi even a second, even in the dream. That should be the goal. Don't be a majburi ka naam. ऐसा नहीं बनना जिंदगी में. Why I am telling all that? To stand always as man or woman, not as a wife or husband or mother. You will suffer only throughout. That is outer vyavahara. फालतू प्रारब्ध के कारण आया है, वो झेलो उसको बाहर. Why do you disturb your inner mind with this outer nonsense? Inner mind is yours, no? How can anybody enter your mind without your permission? This common sense is called spirituality, which comes after hundreds of years of listening from the Guru with bhakti, the Shastras, not overnight. Like I am telling you now, doesn't mean that I understood and practicing, you will do it. मेरे को 100,000 बार मुझे कहना है तब मैं चेंज हो जाऊंगा, आपको लाख बार सुनना है तब आप चेंज हो जाओ. ये है माया का शक्ति, उसको पार करने के लिए इतने बार हमको रिपीट करना है. Simple common sense of the protection of mana in this way. Now extend this example. I am man, I am women. Say that, not saying I am mother or daughter, you are no more. Same way, say that I am the self, nor the jiva through the upadhi. Go on saying that, at least to some extent the dukkha goes. That is why Gurus have given us Siddhananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, all these thoughts. Same thing in our Drugdusha Viveka, Asanga Sachidananda Swaprabodvaita Varjita Asmiti Shabda Vidhoyam Samadhi Savikalpaga. Same way, Akanda Sachidananda अखंडैकरसं वस्तु सच्चिदानंद लक्षणम इत्यविच्छिन्न चिंतेयम समाधिर्मध्यमो भवेत्. Tomorrow we are studying that sloka. Okay, na? Refuse to become a jiva, a miserable, through the strong identity of the upadhi. इन व्यवहार टिल हिसाब किताब क्लियर होने तक करते रहो, लेकिन अपने दिल को दिमाग से गाइड करो. दिमाग में ये नॉलेज होना है, दिल को इस तरह हल्का बनना है. I am the self, the conscious self, illuminator of everything. Theoretically तो सुना कम से कम. Then how can I be the jiva through upadhi to suffer? So whenever the घुटनों का दर्द होता है, if you are painful, you have become jiva. If you become less painful, then you are becoming less in jiva. There is no pain, there is no jiva. Because I am age of 90 years का हो गया हूँ, क्यों नहीं होगा दर्द घुटने में? अब 20-30 साल पहले हो रहा था, क्या नालायकपन किया मैंने. बट थोड़ा भक्ति की, गुरु की सेवा की, गुरु को दक्षिणाएं दी. ऑल दैट प्रोटेक्टिंग मी फ्रॉम ए घुटना दर्द सो फार. दैट इज ओनली टू द घुटना. आई एम नॉट घुटना. डोंट टेक घुटना, डोंट टेक घुटना. कोई घुटना ठेकते हैं, होने दो. स्वामी जी इतना दर्द है, नी रिप्लेसमेंट कर रहे हैं डॉक्टर लोग. मतलब मैं अपना नहीं दूं क्या? नहीं, क्या मैं जाके राजस्थान से ले आऊं करूं? देखो, मरने से बचोगे तो करो, नहीं तो मत करो. बट वो दे आर टेलिंग मी टू होल्ड ऑन टू दी वॉकिंग स्टिक. और एक होता है ये जो चना बेचने वाले ले जाते हैं ना, ऐसा एक पकड़ कर चलते हैं लोग जिनको घुटना दर्द होता है. तो हमें ये आने दो. सो व्हाट, दैट इज टू योर बॉडी. You understand? Till the moment we are alive, there is a chance for us to sadhana, there is a chance for us to be a samsari. Many of us choose the second one. Choose the first one. Is it not? अब आजकल मैं कुर्सी में बैठ गया हूँ, स्वामी जी निकल नहीं पा रहा हूँ. अब मेरे को कुर्सी की हालत पूछनी चाहिए. बेचारा वो जड़ हो गया इसलिए बच गया. और लोगों को पूछो, होली मना रहे. और ये बात बताऊं, सत्य का और दुखी हो जाते हैं. स्वामी जी आपके ना जख्म पे नमक छिड़कते हो. महाराज अब भी थोड़ा समझदार नहीं हो रहे हो तो क्या करें? हिल नहीं पा रहा हूं तो लकी यू आर. सिट एंड एवरीथिंग, सब आप सारे आपकी सेवाएं हो रहे, मन भगवान में लगा. आई एम टेलिंग, इवन दोज इवेंचुअलिटीज we should never come. We pray like that for every one of us. There also we should say that I am the self, the problems are coming to upadhi. The moment you give importance to upadhi, you have become jiva. हो गया suffering. Choice is yours. Do you want to be a liberated atma or bound jiva? Question 1. No, I want to be liberated atma. Then what is sadhana? You ask. Then when you are near the upadhi, you are jiva. You go away from the upadhi, you are liberated. And how we are near to the upadhi? Aham, mama, mahyam. Is it not? Me, mine, and to me. मैं, मेरा, मेरे लिए. With these three wrong notions, you are hooked on to upadhi. Then remove all these three by doing the opposite of that. This is what we studied thoroughly while doing our Taittiriya Upanishad, the Samhita Upanishad. Even some the व्याहृति उपासना के समय भी हमने यही कहा, इंडिविजुअल उपाधियों को समष्टि के लिए सेवा करने से इंडिविजुअल उपाधियों से तादात्म्य छूटेगा. देन आई एम नो मोर ए जीवा टू सफर. सब मिलकर समझना. सो व्हाट इज द Maha Aushadhi today for us? The greatest thought, I am not a jiva through upadhi. I am the nirupadhika paramatma. Allow this thought to go inside. अब शर्मा मत इसके लिए. आपके नाम शर्मा भी है, घबराओ मत. आपका नाम घबराओ है तो भी ये नहीं करना. फिर स्वामी जी आप क्या कहते हो, मैं कहाँ आत्मा हूँ? ऐसे आप मतलब, आई नो यू लव मी बट यू कांट कॉल मी आत्मा. मैं तो जीव ही हूँ. I suffer the wife, I suffer the children, I suffer my office. Don't do that thing. How long you do? अब गुरु क्या करे? अब बंदा इतने साल गया तो नहीं सुनेगा, what can the guru do? Two options have guru. Such one, he will throw the disciple in the kuwa, yeah, he will fall. That is why they used to have satsang नदी के किनारे. क्यों होता था नदी के किनारे? अगर शिष्य पतला है तो उसको ढकेल लो, ज्यादा मोटा है तो कुछ गिर जाओ. क्यों? ये नालायक बदल नहीं रहा. Never ever say right now onward. And in all the cares taken, like when you go on to cricket ground in the international match, ऐसे थोड़ी चले जाते हो. You wear the guard, the pad, the hand protectors, elbow protectors. आजकल rib gears भी आ गए, then the helmets are there. How much you shoe and also पहन कर जाते ना. So too, when you do these sadhanas, wear all your protecting things. What is that? This is sadhana given to me by the Shastra. I am doing it to come away from the Upadhi Yukta Jiva Bhava and to establish in the self. This knowledge is always some guards, some of the protection. In the same way, that doesn't mean that I shout at the pitch of my voice or become arrogant to tell others कि मैं आत्मा हूँ तुम नहीं हो करके. It is not for that reason. Same time, this is second guard. The second and third one is guard. That is not to say that you relinquish your responsibilities. तो बिना ड्यूटी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज को छोड़ते हुए, बिना अपने गर्व दर्प का, जानकर कि ऐसा करने से ही मन बुद्धि थोड़ा परमात्मा की तरफ जाएगा. With these three guards protected, play this cricket of saying that I am not the upadhi yukta jiva, I am the nirupadhika atma. Go on saying, let the thought become stronger, stronger. Simply, silently, most importantly, humbly. And tell to Bhagavan, like I tell Bhagavan, this abhyas of mine should not create any side effects of ego or arrogance, or even living at the thought level without actually doing sadhana and experiencing the self. क्योंकि हर एक करनी जो है ना, पॉजिटिव भी देता है अलर्ट है तो, नेगेटिव भी देता है अलर्ट नहीं है तो. Any doing gives both results, because doing itself has that tendency. Therefore, when we are doing this type of sadhana, there is a tendency of the negative result that we may become mechanical in doing so, or we get stuck up at the thought level only, or we may develop arrogance, ego, think holier than thou attitude, or we may give up our duties, responsibilities. All of them are the wrong by side effects of this good sadhana, saying that I am not the upadhyukta jiva, I am the atma. देखो, उससे बचते हुए हमको आराम से धीरे धीरे करना. That is a sadhana to be understood from this explanation given in the Guru. Yavat dehendriya prana pranai atmanah sannikarshanam samsara phalvan tavat apartha api avivekina. Though none of the samsara is there, still appears to be there and starts giving the dukkha also. And this is for the one who has gone very close to the upadhi. And why did he go close to the upadhi? Only one reason, aviveki. And it's a big subject. Tomorrow I'll explain what is aviveka. जरूरत है क्या? स्वामी हमको बताए. I'll explain 3, 4, 5, 6 thoughts in this context. What is the meaning of aviveka? Because of my aviveka, I am going near to upadhi. Then the non-existing samsara is existing, and non-existing sukha dukkha are experienced by me. Again, back to the first thought when we started while explaining the shloka. Decide, तुमको आत्मा के रूप में रहना है, जीव के रूप में. Only one question. You want to be liberated self or bound jiva? Such a good question, is it, no? Then immediately the question should come, what is the meaning of liberation in bondage? Only one. With upadhi, bondage; without upadhi, liberation. So bound to upadhi is jiva suffering, freed from the upadhi is the atma liberated. Keep this in the mind. अब देखो, along with the natural upadhis with which we are born, the Panchakosha, see the Murak we are. In the world, one after the other, we are trying to gain the upadhis. For that entire life, every natak like के बंदर मदारी झुमुरी ऑन द रोड की तरह हम करते जा रहे ताकि लोग ताले बजाते हुए और थोड़े उपाधि हमारे ऊपर डालें. Call me intelligent, call me smart, call me a good person, call me. You are asking everybody to call you the names. They are all upadhi. जो ऑलरेडी उपाधि को लेकर आए उसको छोड़ना था। अब नया उपाधि, आई एम डॉक्टर, आई एम लॉयर, आई एम इंजीनियर, आई एम दिस। अरे बेवकूफ, ये सब जीव के हैं, ये सब सफरिंग है। So I'm a doctor, but no patient comes. What to do? You be a patient till the patient comes. That's the only thing I can say. And I'm the lawyer. Nobody is coming. What to do? तुम ही कत्ल करो. You do your own case. You know all the law points. Do you understand how instead of coming out of the Pancha Upadhi, we are having new Upadhis? Like in गर्मियों में, सर्दियों में, in all the North Indian places, मजाक से हम यही कहते थे, पंचकोश भगवान ने दे ही दिया और पांच कोश इन लोगों ने डाली. तो इनर्स भी है, फिर बनियन भी है, उसके ऊपर फिर प्रॉपर ड्रेस है, उसके ऊपर स्वेटर भी है, उसके ऊपर जैकेट भी है, उसके ऊपर कोट भी है, उसके ऊपर बड़ा कंबल भी है. So he is a Dashakosha. Don't you do that? In the same way, from today onwards, no new upadhis. Don't do any gimmicks natak like Madari Jamuri to be clapped by the people. We are not a circus animal that people should appreciate and all. Not knowing these simple common sense things, we are struggling with the world to tell them, यार मेरे को जीव बना दे, मेरे को रुला दे, मेरे को जीव बना दे. That's what we are doing. By asking them to recognize as a this or that. Is there anything other than the self? Are there two selves? Then everybody is self. कौन किसका recognize करेगा? In what way? देखो, this is a great knowledge. This we will be studying in our Adhyatma Ramayana, all of them also. Revel in this listening, revel in this contemplation, till all the kachra of the non-understanding, half-understanding, misunderstanding, wrong understanding is gone away. In this words of wisdom's inquiry, every ignorance should go away. That's called spiritual light. धीरे धीरे होएगा वो. लगाओ पूरा समय उसी के लिए. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shri Guru Bhyo. It has a revision हो गया. I never thought it will be. तो भगवान ने ऐसे कराए. मेरे को ज़्यादा जिद्दी जबरदस्ती भगवान के साथ